Police are at your door. What you do in the next 5 seconds will determine whether you sleep in your own bed tonight or in a jail cell. Most people think they know their rights, but they panic and say the exact wrong thing. I'm going to give you the lawyer-approved script that protects you. But before I give you those exact words to say, you have to understand the number one trap that almost everyone falls into, the statement trap. The first and most important rule is this: police are not there to hear your story. They're there to build a case. Any statement you give them, no matter how small, gets permanently locked in. Let's say in the heat of the moment, you forget a small detail. When you remember it later, the police won't see it as a correction. They'll see it as a lie. Why didn't you tell us this earlier? Are you changing your story now? Their report will say you changed your story. From that moment on, every single thing you say will be viewed through the lens of deception. You lost control of the narrative. The small talk weapon. The most common way people fall into the statement trap is through small talk. Cops are experts at this, and they use it for 3 specific reasons. First, they're fishing. They'll ask casual questions like, where are you coming from? Or what were you guys up to tonight? Hoping you'll voluntarily give them information that establishes probable cause for a search or even an arrest. Second, they're stalling. They might be waiting for a backup officer to arrive before they decide to detain you, but your friendly chatter is often just a way to keep you there. And third, a very common tactic during a traffic stop is they're trying to hold you there long enough for a drug dog to show up and do a sniff around your vehicle. Small talk is never just small talk when the police are involved. The counter playbook. So how do you counter this? With a clear, polite, 3-line script. First, if it's a traffic stop, provide your license, registration, and insurance. Nothing else. Many states, including Indiana, require you provide this information or you're going to get charged with a separate crime called refusal to identify. Second, you state your intention clearly. Officer, I am exercising my right to remain silent and I want my lawyer. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, won't that make me look guilty? No, it's not. Police are trained to make you feel that way, and it's a tactic to get you to cooperate against your own best interests. Exercising a constitutional right is never evidence of guilt. Period. No exceptions. Now let's jump into self-defense really quickly. What about self-defense? Now let's apply this to the most fragile of situations, a self-defense claim. After a violent event, you're likely going to be emotional and disorientated. This is the worst possible time to give a statement to the police. Here's a fact most people don't know. In a self-defense case, the government has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that what you did was not self-defense. They have to prove a negative, and that can get very challenging for the police and prosecutors. Even though it can be challenging, don't give them ammunition. Don't help them in their job. If you have to call 911, you give your location, your description, and state that you were afraid for your life and need help. When officers arrive, you say only this: I was attacked. I was afraid I was going to die. And I will give a full statement after I've consulted with my attorney. This protects your claim without locking you into a frantic, emotional, and potentially inconsistent statement. Finally, the most important part of this script: am I free to leave? This question is your key. That question, am I free to leave, is your diagnostic tool. It forces the officer to define the encounter. And officers hate defining the encounter, which is why it's so important you know and you use this phrase, am I free to leave? If an officer just walks up to you on the street, it's considered a voluntary encounter. You can legally ignore them and walk away, just like you could with any stranger that walks up and talks to you. Don't gotta engage with random strangers. You just don't have to. But it can feel intimidating just to walk away from an officer. So to deal with that, you can ask, am I free to leave? And they're going to be forced to give you a direct answer. If they say yes, turn around and walk away. Leave. Don't say anything else. Don't say thank you. Don't say goodbye. Just leave. If they say no, well, then you have your answer. You're either being arrested or otherwise detained, but you're basically a suspect. And in that case, you want to say the 3 magic phrases: I plead the fifth, I want a lawyer, I do not consent to a search. That's it. Don't say anything else. Talking to the police is never just a simple conversation. It's a legal procedure where you are at a distinct disadvantage. Silence is not suspicious. It's your constitutional shield. Now, if you've watched this far, please like and subscribe to this channel. We try to do a video every week about your rights. If you are in Indiana and you need legal help, give me a call, 317-632-3642. I'd love to chat with you. But most importantly, remember to always plead the fifth.